Mhm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's get it. Let's get it, everybody. Yeah, I'm just getting everything situated, making sure I'm good. But thank you guys for joining me this evening. Just like you've seen in the title, this is quick news. I'll make this quick, short, straight to the point. Some stories that you guys should be following. Different things that's going on in the news. Hold on, just fix that bad boy like that. Mhm. Got that. Just making sure everything is kosher right now. Just give me 1 second and we'll get this show started. All right, all right, all right. Bang, bang. Choo choo train. Come on, girl. Let's shake that. All right, let me stop. All right, all right. So we just gonna get right into it. Let me just fix my tie real quick. Sorry about that, everybody. I should have been a little more ready. Here we go. Awesome. So welcome. All my returning guests, the usual suspects. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I want to know how your week's been. My week's been good. Since last week we had a great interview. But we'll get into that. I just want to welcome all my returning guests. As you see, we got somebody in the chat. How's it going, Mr. Pierre? Thank you for tuning in. It's going to be some real quick news for you guys tonight. But like I was saying, welcome all my returning guests. Hashtag the usual suspects. You guys make this show possible. But if this is your first time tuning in, I'm a local online news show. I talk about local, national, and international news. I am your host, Aaron Casey, and this is What's Up, People News. So again, like I said at the very top, I got a quick show for you guys tonight. As you've seen in the title, this is quick news. I don't have any particular stories or topics. I'm actually getting ready for an interview tomorrow, and I'll make sure to talk about that before the show's over. Well, actually, I do have a couple of announcements. This is just some housekeeping, all of that good stuff. So if you guys didn't tune in last week, I interviewed two candidates from Clearwater, Florida, a Reverend Jonathan Wade and a Miss Miranda Douglas. They had their elections yesterday. Unfortunately, they both didn't win their respective seats. But don't let that stop you. Don't let that be a deal breaker. I will have Miss Miranda Douglas back on in a couple weeks just to give us an update of what she has going on moving forward. Because unfortunately she didn't win her race, but she has some other things. I think she has some other things in the pipeline that she may have cooking and all of that as well. I'll try to get Reverend Jonathan Wade on, and again, just to see what they both have planned moving forward. Also, like I had stated, quick tease earlier, I will be having an interview tomorrow, so I hope everybody that tunes in tonight can tune in tomorrow. I'll be interviewing Brent Heinrich out of Washington State, I guess area or District 3. He is running for U.S. Congress, so we'll have a great show for you tomorrow with that interview. That's part of why I'm doing the quick news tonight, so I can have room and space for tomorrow's great interview. So again, hope you guys tune in tomorrow for that. But with that being said, we're going to get right into it. We got some quick news. about to pop off. But this is your first reminder before we get started. Please like, share, subscribe. Let all your friends, family, sisters, brothers, uncles, nieces, nephews, aunties, all of that. Let everybody know if you're looking for the latest and greatest on and a different perspective on the news, all of that wonderful stuff. Please tune in to What's Up People News. They can subscribe and hit the notification bell, and it lets you know when I go live, all of that. All right, now that that's out the way, now we can get into some quick news. The first thing on the agenda, if you guys didn't know, or if you didn't push your clocks forward, if you didn't push your clocks forward this past Sunday at 2 a.m., I know I didn't. It is daylight savings time, people. And you're probably wondering, well, why are we talking about that? This happens all the time. Where are you going with this? Well, actually, the U.S. Senate has approved a bill to make daylight savings time permanent. Yeah, a lot of people like it, some don't. But this is what's going on. The Senate couldn't pass, voting rights, or they couldn't pass anything that is substantive. I can't pass something that's important. Okay, we're gonna go with that right now because I can't get the word out. But the Senate, they can't do nothing, but they can come together and make a bill to make daylight savings time permanent. I mean, I guess that's cool. I mean, they are working, but they're not passing anything that's substantive. Anyway, they're not passing anything that's critical, that's really going to help the American people. But let's keep hope alive, and hopefully they can come together and pass something that's actually going to have an impact on the American people. But again, with that being said, they have come together and they are approving a bill to keep daylight savings time permanent. There it is. Moving right along to the second. For everybody, I just want to let you guys know, I did used to watch wrestling, WWE, all of that, WCW, all of that. And the reason why I bring that up is because the person that actually got me going, that got me interested in wrestling, was Ramon. You know what I'm saying? Had the little toothpick in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? He was the guy. That was my guy. He was the reason why I started watching wrestling, because of Razor Ramon and Razor's Edge. All of that. He was a beast. That was my guy. His real name is Scott Hall, and unfortunately, just the other day, he had suffered 3 major heart attacks. And of course, that sent him to the hospital. He was on a respirator for a while. And just the other day, his family members pulled the plug, and we lost a great WWE Hall of Famer, Scott Hall, aka Razor Ramon. He was a problem, man. We lost. He was the one that got me inspired, got me interested in wrestling. He passed away. Such a hard day, such a bad day yesterday for a lot of wrestling fans, the WWE, all the wrestlers that knew him. He was the man. He was the one that got me interested in wrestling. So my condolences to his family. He was the guy. He was the man. Razor Ramon with toothpick. You can't get no cooler than that. So yeah, it's a big unfortunate, but we did lose a good one. But with that being said, I just want to say everything that I will talk about tonight, you guys can find in the description after the show. I do hope you guys, like I always say, I advocate for doing your own research. So please do your own research, read these articles. I actually have one video for you guys, which is a little different. I don't have too many video links that I put on here, but I have done that from time to time, and tonight is one of those times. The video is about actually talking about the oil industry and what's going on with that. Past couple weeks, I've been talking about how the price of oil, the barrel of oil, has gone up above $100. And if it reaches above $200, we're doomed. Straight up. It's panic mode times panic mode. But within the last couple days, the price of oil per barrel has dropped down. In this video by Crystal Ball, if you guys don't know who Crystal Ball is, or Sagar from Breaking Points, they were originally part of The Hill. You could catch them on Prime, on mainstream cable, but their contract was up, and they started to do their own show, which is called Breaking Points. It's a very, very great online news show. Y'all definitely need to check them out. But this particular section that I'm talking about comes from Crystal Ball and her monologue. She's talking about the oil industry and how they're trying to nationalize it, this, that, and third, kind of get rid of America's dependence on foreign oil and things like that. But I'll make sure you guys, y'all definitely need to check it out, because she's dropping some facts, bringing up some real good points in that video. So please check that out. But we're going to be moving right along. Even though I'm kind of jumping back and forth, I had to get back into the sports. If you guys didn't know, I am broadcasting live in the state of Massachusetts. And if you don't know, the Celtics, the Boston Celtics, they rocking and rolling right now. I got some quick little information. They have won 7 out of the last 10 games that they've played. Jaylen Brown, Tatum, balling like they doing their thing right now. The Celtics, let's go, man. Even though we in 5th place right now in the East standings, the Celtics is balling. They have a game tonight against the Warriors at 10 o'clock. So if you're a Celtic fan, if you're a fan of basketball, if you just want to see what's going on tonight in the NBA, check that game out. Celtics Warriors is going down. The Celtics getting that W tonight at 10 o'clock. So definitely y'all need to check that out. And again, like I said, they won 7 of their last 10. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, they are balling. But they wouldn't be balling the way they had been if it hadn't been for that missing piece. And again, all the stuff I talk about, you guys can find in the description after the show. But what was that missing piece? Derek freaking White, people. Derek freaking White, he's balling. He's doing his thing with the crazy hair, all that. Yo, balling. You know what I'm saying? He had his time down in with San Antonio Spurs. He was a Spur for a while down there with Pop. Pop, great coach. He be doing his thing. But Derek White, now that he's here, big man, we need that balling. So y'all need to go check out that article. The Sports Illustrated article talking about that missing piece and how Derek White is just, he's balling for the Celtics right now. That's why Celtics is 7-10 of their last 10 games, 7 out of 10 of the last 10, balling. You know what I'm saying? We 5th in the East, but we're gonna move that up. We're gonna move that up. Again, tonight we play the Warriors at 10 o'clock. But of course, we're gonna be moving right along like always. We're going to kind of kick it over to overseas. A couple of weeks ago, I talked about the Ring of Fire, and that's a place off in the Pacific where 90% of earthquakes and things like that happen. Well, it's back in the news again. The Ring of Fire has struck again. Just this past weekend, it was a 7.3 earthquake in Japan by the Fukushima area. If you guys don't know why that sounds familiar, that's actually where they had the Fukushima nuclear power plant. And a couple years ago, a massive hurricane, tsunami came and it just devastated that whole region, kind of their version of Chernobyl. That happened, but this was caused by a big tsunami that just came and just wrecked everything and wrecked all the people and the houses in the area. But they have been getting better over the years. I think the Fukushima nuclear situation happened about maybe 8 years ago or something like that. 8 to 12 years ago or something. It happened a while ago. Recent, but still a while ago. But it devastated that area of northern Japan and made it basically uninhabitable. And now they just got hit again with a 7.3 earthquake. That's a massive earthquake, people. 7.3. Y'all need to go check it out. We're going to move right along. And lastly, for part of the quick news section, I tried to break it up, make it a little more easy. But the last part of the quick news section, unfortunately, is from a gentleman, a cameraman for Fox News, was in Ukraine. Him and the anchor. And of course, they were just talking about what's going on in Ukraine, interviewing a couple people. And while they were doing what they were doing there, where they were at actually got hit by a shell, mortar or something like that. And unfortunately, the gentleman did lose his life. He was a veteran videographer and a 24-year-old Ukraine journalist. So he was working with a journalist from Ukraine. And their vehicle came under fire outside of Kyiv. Pierre Zagzewski. Y'all know I'm horrible with names, but Pierre Zagzewski, 55, was the cameraman that worked for Fox News that unfortunately lost his life while, bringing the news, doing what I'm doing, but behind the camera in Ukraine. And as you know, right now, Ukraine is crazy right now. There's a war going on. I will have some updates about that in a few moments, but I just want to finish talking about Mr. Pierre Zagzewski. Again, I can't, horrible name. I'm sorry to the family of Mr. Pierre. I do apologize. I am horrible with names. But my condolences go out to you guys who lost a loved one, doing what he loves to do, apparently. Cameraman over in Ukraine, bringing the information to the people, to you guys, and he lost his life while doing that. So my condolences to him and his family. But moving right along, I do want to give some quick updates to the Russia-Ukraine situation. This is being reported by CNN. Just the other day, or just earlier today, a theater in the besieged city of Mariupol, where hundreds of people are said to have taken shelter, sustained heavy damage in a bombing Wednesday, the city council said. So today, it was kind of like a shelter or place where they can go to try to be safe and protected from what Russia is doing. And they blew it up. They tried to bomb the theater where the civilians were trying to protect themselves and stay out of harm's way. But hold on one second. I just got working on here we go. The president, Volodymyr Zelensky, called for humanitarian no-fly zone over Ukraine in a virtual address to the U.S. Congress. And this all happened earlier this morning as Russian forces inched toward Kyiv with intensified fighting around it. U.S. President Biden announced an additional $800 million in security aid for Ukraine after Zelensky challenged him to be the leader of peace. So basically what that's saying is Zelensky talked to our Congress today. He was asking for help, support, and he asked, President Joe Biden, hey, can you be the leader of peace? Can you step up? We're getting demolished over here. And so part of that, President Biden said he's going to give them an additional $800 million for defense and rebuilding and things like that. Crazy situation that's going on right now. But moving right along, faced with continual personal losses, Russia is calling up reinforcements from across the country, according to the UK Ministry of Defense. Zelensky, and this is the president of Ukraine, Zelensky says Russia's negotiating position in talks with Ukraine has become more realistic, but he stressed the need for the country to keep fighting. So there's a lot going on. There's more updates. This is just a quick updates in the last few moments. I hope you guys will check out these articles and get more information and see what's going on in the UK. You know, I stand with UK. We got to support them out there. I don't like the fact that they were telling Black and brown people that they couldn't leave the country. It was only Ukrainians first. I think that's kind of it's kind of messed up. If they are there and they feel threatened, they want to leave, you should let them leave regardless. But that was going on. I did hear some reports that some of the Black and brown students that they were asking, the male ones, they were asking them to fight for Ukraine. I don't know how to really feel about that. I don't necessarily agree, but I have heard different opinions about it. And some of the one of the people that I heard opinion was, if you're going to be in Ukraine, you know, going to school out there, messing with their women, why not fight for them as well? I don't know. I don't really agree with that particular opinion. But again, it's only an opinion. That was their opinion. Mine is, I don't really agree with that. If you want to leave, you should leave regardless if you're a Ukrainian or not, if you're a student, if you're a foreigner coming there to work or go to school. If you want to leave, I think you should have the right to leave regardless of nationality. Nobody wants to be in a war. Nobody wants to be in an area where it's getting bombed or whatever. So, but definitely check out these articles. Very, very interesting stuff that's going on. But we're going to move right along. So we're going to get kind of, not the main story. Again, this is more quick news, but just maybe a little, yeah. Anyway, forget what I just said. This is more quick news, and we're going to keep moving right along. To kind of switch it up, I did talk about basketball earlier. I'm going to keep talking about it because it is March. And if you don't know what that means, it means it's March Madness, the Final Four, college hoops, championships for the best basketball team in the country. March Madness is happening. It started. They did something a little different than they would normally do. March Madness did start yesterday, but the first four brackets are going to be started yesterday and today. The next four brackets, hold on one second. Where'd it go? Where did it go? All right. Let me see. I can't find the article with the brackets. Oh, well. Here we go. Let's see. Let's see. I can't find where they had the brackets. Oh, here we go. It's March Madness, people. March Madness. I hope everybody is going to get into it. But the first four, so this is the quick breakdown of the schedule. The first four brackets, March 15th to 16th. First round is from March 17th to 18th. The second round, these are the next brackets, March 19th to 20th. The Sweet 16 is March 24th to the 25th. The Elite 8 is March 26th to the 27th. And finally, the Final Four is April 2nd and the NCAA championship, is April 4th. So the Final Four is April 2nd, and the championship is April 4th. So for the next month, it's going down. Next couple of weeks, March Madness is going down. And I got an article that's talking about how you can break down your brackets, how make the best picks, things like that. So if you're big in the sports and you like March Madness like myself, and you be doing the brackets and you got some money on them brackets, read these articles. It might give you some insight on how to pick and place your teams within that bracket so you can have the best bracket, win the most money, all of that good stuff. But moving right along, we're actually going to get into some local quick news. I have one major article, one major story that's been happening. If you guys been living under a rock, I would say about a month ago, Monica Cannon Grant, her house got raided. Unfortunately, horrible situation. If you don't know who Monica Cannon Grant is, she was, I don't know how to really say it, but we'll just say is the CEO of the nonprofit Violence in Boston. She is also a Black Lives Matter organizer, or she runs one of the Black Lives Matter chapter here in Massachusetts. And so unfortunately, her house was raided with allegations of alleged fraud. Basically, she has a nonprofit. She was taking money in, and then unfortunately not spending it where it was supposed to go. Why she started, the nonprofit. But it's been said that her and her husband basically, hold on one second, I'm looking, supposedly they did a PPP loan fraud for $100,000, as well as getting donations from different individuals for the nonprofit. They have been indicted on 18 counts of fraud, basically stealing money, things like that. It's a lot, and it's so unfortunate because the work that she was trying to do, the work that she was doing, was trying to benefit the Black and Brown community in the heart of Boston, as well as shedding a light on the issues that men face, not just trying to single out men, but Black women as well. But she always stood up for the Black man, just trying to say, hey, the injustices that we face, as well as standing up for Black women as well. But it's a crazy situation. She was very, very vocal in the city, called out people, called out the cops. She was calling out a lot of people and making a lot of enemies at the same time, a lot of high profile enemies. And some people in the Boston government didn't like Monica. They didn't like what she was saying, what she was doing, how she was moving. And so it's so unfortunate that this situation had to happen, because a lot of people that didn't like her, now they have, ammunition to kind of get her out of the spotlight, put her to the side, kind of make an example. I hope to have a conversation with Miss Grant, Miss Monica Cannon Grant. She has been on the show years ago, just talking about her organization, what she does, what they do. So hopefully, if I can try to get her on and she can explain her side of the story. She has made a couple of videos recently kind of explaining what's been going on. So hopefully I can get those and have a link to that, as well as hopefully, who knows, maybe get her on the show so she can explain her side of the story. But it's just so unfortunate. They were saying that it was the husband, Mr. Grant, that was actually doing all of the fraud and taking money and trying to cover it up. But again, it is just so unfortunate that this particular situation had to happen. This isn't the first time I've heard of people in the organization and Black Lives Matter having situations like this. I don't think this is an example of what Black Lives Matter organization is about. They're about correcting injustices in the Black and Brown community, stopping police brutality against Black men and Black women. But this sets that back decades. A lot of people who didn't like Black Lives Matter are looking at this situation saying, see, I told you they were a terrorist organization, just feeding into all the negativity and just the negativity that's associated with Black Lives Matter. And it's just so heartbreaking to see the situation and see it unfold. But I'll have more information about this. I'll keep you guys updated about this. And you know, again, like I said, if possible, try to get her on, hear her side of the story, and you know, hear directly from her. But again, y'all need to check out this article. I have a couple articles talking about this. And yeah, they went in. The people writing these articles was going in. They didn't hold no punches. And again, it's so unfortunate that this happened. Because she was trying to make a change. She was trying to make a change. I also used to promote every Wednesday and Friday. She would have an open pantry for the people in the neighborhood, and I would put that on in the description. So if you knew somebody who needed some food that lived in the Boston area, you had information where you could go and get some food for yourself, your family, your young ones. So it's so unfortunate that this has come out. Facing bedtimes. This is big. This is big news. This is big time. This is federal like fraud. And they don't play when it comes to the fraud and nonprofits and money and things like that. So I'll keep you guys posted again. Hopefully, I don't know. It might be a slim chance, slim to none. But I'll try to do what I can. Maybe I can get her on the show again. We can hear her side of the story and figure out, you know, what's going on and what happened. How did we get here? Why? You know, ask those hard, tough questions. But I'm going to leave that alone. And lastly, the last thing that we're going to talk about tonight before we go, just some good news. A husband and wife opened up a smoothie shop in Randolph, Massachusetts. So this is the last bit of local news. This is so dope. Naya and Ashley Lubin. The wife, Naya, she's from Jamaica, and Ashley, the husband, he is from Haiti. And so they moved, you know, immigrants came to America to start a new life. They actually opened up a smoothie shop. It's called Decollect's Juicery and Coffee Shop. So you can not only get coffee there, you can get a smoothie, or if you don't want a smoothie, you get coffee with little finger foods and sandwiches and things like that. It's located on 23 Memorial Parkway, Randolph. So again, if you're in the city of Randolph, or if you're in the state of Massachusetts or Boston or Brockton, any of the surrounding areas to Randolph, Avon, Stoughton, definitely go check this out. This is a Black-owned business. It's inspirational. You know what I'm saying? If they can come over here, from their homeland and open up a shop, a smoothie. People here in America that grew up here can do the same thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be a smoothie shop, but if you have a business idea or something that you think can generate money, start your own business. Start a small business. That is the backbone of the American economy. Small businesses help the economy grow. They give jobs to people who didn't have jobs. They give jobs to communities where there weren't any, or if there were, now you got more. So big shout out to, again, Nia and Ashley Lubin. They got their own small business, DeColette's Juicery and Coffee Shop located in Randolph, Mass. I'll make sure to have a link to their website, the article, and directions to their smoothie shop if you want to go check it out. I think I might have to go check it out, maybe even get them on the show and do an interview with them. Who knows? But anyway, that's all I got. I hope you guys like this. Let me know what you guys think about this format. Is it a little better? Is it easier? Again, tune in tomorrow night. I am interviewing Brent Heinrich. He's running for U.S. Congress out of Washington State, Northwest, the Seattle, Washington, if that's easier for everybody to understand. Not get it confused with Washington, D.C., talking about Washington State. But anyway, he will be on the show tomorrow. We have a great interview, have some good questions, get you some insight about him, why he should be voted into Congress, all of that. So please tune in for that. This is your second reminder. Please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I go live. And again, I am your host, Aaron Casey, and this is What's Up People News. And I hope you guys have a good evening. And again, come back tomorrow for a great interview. But with that being said, again, y'all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow.